Hey everyone, my name is Abby and I'm here to tell you about behavior momentum. So, what is behavior momentum? According to Cooper and his co writers, behavior momentum refers to the resistance to change and the rate of responding following an alteration in reinforcement states. Essentially, a behavior that was once consistently reinforced becomes resistant to change. For example, Jill's RBT prompts her to imitate clapping her hands, to touch her nose, and to count to 5, all of which were previously highly reinforced behaviors and have become high probability behaviors. She then prompts her to pick up her toys. A non-example would be Jill's RBT prompts her to pick up her toys without building momentum through mastered tasks. Behavior momentum builds off the concept of basic momentum, which is explored in modern physics. For example, the car on the left demonstrates a car that is in motion. The car on the right demonstrates a car that is stationary. For its application in ABA, momentum builds through the completion of mastered behaviors which come easy to the individual. The completion of multiple high-probability behaviors increases the likelihood of performing a low-probability behavior. Similar to the cars, the blue car will stay in motion until something causes it to stop. The red car will stay stationary until something causes it to move. The high probability sequence builds the momentum to keep an individual engaged in behaviors until something causes it to stop. Whereas if you were to go straight in with a low probability behavior, they're likely to not be as engaged because they haven't built up that momentum. The high probability sequence is a series of high probability behaviors that increase the likelihood of completing a low probability behavior. The high probability request sequence established a high rate of reinforcement for the response class compliance that increased its momentum and carried over tasks with a low probability performance, which is what Davis and his co-experimenters found in an experiment they did over the high probability sequence. I now have an example of behavior momentum and a high probability sequence. Miss Sarah is having trouble having Colin engage in class, so she uses behavior momentum. She prompts him to raise his hands and then to give her a high five, and then to show her pointing. After each instance, she's giving verbal praise. She finally prompts him to complete a math problem on the board, and he's able to complete it. Some tips for successful applications of behavior momentum include using positive reinforcement, using between 3 to 5 high probability behaviors, clear instructions, quick successions, and to observe and adjust.
Created using Powtoon.